Shalom, my brothers and sisters in Yahuwah Elohim. Welcome to our new study in the Extra-canonicals, in the Dead Sea Scrolls. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope your Shabbat was peaceful, filled with Yah Shalom, His peace. I hope y'all got a good chance to study with your children and teaching them. Well, gang, let's get down to business. Tonight, the extra-canonical that we are studying is called the War Scrolls, okay? And it all has to do with the war between the sons of light and the sons of darkness, okay? So, if you've got a Dead Sea Scrolls book with this in it, go ahead and grab it, and we'll read through this. We're going to do a 3-part study on this. It'll be 3 different parts because I think we can get it done in 3 parts. So let's get started tonight. What do you say? I think this is going to be a really good study. I'm going to read you the intro, okay? That way we know where the origins are from and how it was found and everything else, just like we do with all the rest of the extra-canonicals. Every single one of them, we always read the intro. That way it gives us a background on what we're reading here. Okay? All right. Let me grab a drink and we'll get started tonight. All right, everybody comfy? Here we go. The War Scrolls. The war between the sons of light and the sons of darkness. Okay? Here's the intro. The War Scroll is a 9.5-foot scroll with as many as 19 columns found in Cave 1 at Qumran. It seems to be written as a sequel or an expository to the eschatological war described in Dan 11 and 12. Daniel, okay, in Daniel 11 and 12. The author gives detailed instructions for a ritualized battle in which the sons of light, led by Michael, destroy the Kittim, or the sons of darkness, led by the bastard, Satan. Many scholars identify the Kittim as an allusion to the Roman Empire. The War Scroll, 1 Qumran, was one of the original 7 scrolls found in Cave 1 by the Bedouin in 1947. The scroll has also been called the War Rule and the War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness. It was first published by E.L. Suckenick in 1954 and was re-edited as the Dead Sea Scrolls of the Hebrew University at Jerusalem, Hebrew University and Magenez Press, 1955. The War Scroll contains 19 columns and is written on 5 sheets. The end of the scroll is missing, but its beginning seems to be intact. At the bottom of the scroll, there is damage and wear. The total length of the scroll in its present state is 9 feet 8 inches. Since pieces of the scroll are worn away or missing, there are places within the translation where words are assumed to fit the flow of the sentence structure. These best guesses words are noted by parentheses. If there are too many words missing, or the meaning cannot be ascertained, so that a best guess cannot be provided, the missing words are denoted with the symbols ... in parentheses. Okay? The scroll is a mixture of spit it out, son. Apocalyptic and legal discussion. The scroll's main theological significance lies in the fact that this is a battle against the sons of light and the sons of darkness. Although most scholars believe the story is about good and evil, this in itself could allude to a struggle between the forces of life and death. In the end, Yahuwah will intervene, conquer, and save his people. There are parallels to the books of Revelation and Daniel in the scroll, and it is assumed that the author borrowed from Daniel as well as other material of the day, according to the date of the text creation. All three books, Daniel, Revelation, and the War Scrolls, share the common theme of life and light being victorious over evil and death. All point to the fact that the outcome is already known. However, man must appreciate or participate and is thus held culpable in the outcome. There is a controversy over the date of the scroll. Go figure, there always is. Some say that the scroll was written between 50 BC and 50 AD, because this is after the Roman conquest about 63 BC, but before the end of Herod's reign in 4 BC. Another view is that the scroll was written after 70 AD, and possibly as late as 135 AD. However, most agree the date must be sometime after the Roman conquest, because the author of the scroll describes the weapons and battle tactics of the Roman army. Okay? All right, the War Scroll, Part 1. The Master Rule of War. The first attack of the Sons of Light will be initiated against the forces of the Sons of Darkness, which is the army of Baal. The troops are from Edom, Moab, the sons of Ammon, the Amalekites, Philistia, and the troops of Kittim of Ashur. Supporting them are those who have violated the covenant, who've broken the covenant. The sons of Levi, the sons of Yehuda, the sons of Benjamin, and those exiled to the wilderness will fight against them with question mark in parentheses, against all their troops. When the exiles of the sons of light return from the wilderness of the peoples to camp in the wilderness of Jerusalem. Then after the battle, they will go up from that place and battle the king of the Kittim, and he shall enter into Egypt. In his time he will go out with great anger to do battle against the kings of the north, and in his anger he shall set out to destroy and eliminate the strength of Yisrael. Then there will be a time of salvation for the people of Yahuwah, and a time of the dominion of all the men of his forces, and a time of eternal destruction for all the forces of Baal. There shall be great panic among the sons of Japheth, and Assyria shall fall with no one to come to his aid, and the supremacy of the Kittim shall cease their wickedness, and will be overcome with a single survivor. There shall be no survivors of all the sons of darkness. Then the sons of righteousness shall shine into all the ends of the world, and continuing to shine forth until the end of the appointed seasons of darkness. Then at the time appointed by Yahuwah, his great brilliance will shine for all of eternity for the peace and blessing, glory and joy, and long life of the sons of light. On the day when the Kittim falls, there will be a battle, a horrible carnage, before the Elohim of Yisrael, for it is a day appointed by him from ancient times as a battle of destruction for the sons of darkness. On that day the congregation of the small g gods and the congregation of men shall engage one another, and the outcome will be great carnage. The sons of light and the forces of darkness shall fight one another to show the strength of Yahuwah with the roar of a great multitude and the shout of small g gods and men. It will be a day of disaster. It is a time of distress for all the people who are redeemed by Yahuwah, compared to all their afflictions. No day exists like this, and it is hasting to its completion as an eternal redemption. On the day of their battle against the Kittim, they shall go out to kill in battle. In 3 groups, the sons of light will stand firm to strike a blow at wickedness, and in 3 parts the army of Belial shall strengthen themselves to force the retreat of the forces of light. And when the banners of the infantry cause their hearts to melt, then the power of Yahuwah will strengthen the hearts of the sons of light. In the 7th section, the great hand of Yahuwah will overcome Belial and all the angels under his control, and all the men of his forces shall be destroyed forever. And this is the total destruction of the sons of darkness and service to Yahuwah during the years of war. And the holy ones shall shine forth in support of the truth in the annihilation of the sons of darkness. Then a great roar preceded them when they took hold of the implements of war, and the chiefs of the tribes and the priests of the tribes of the Levites, the chiefs of the tribes, the fathers of the congregation, the priests, and thus for the Levites, and the courses of the heads of the procession will go forth. The number of the congregation's tribe is 52. They shall set in the rank of chiefs of the priests after the chief priest and his deputy. There will be 12 chief priests to serve in the regular offering before Yahuwah. The chiefs of the courses will number 26, and shall serve in their courses. After them, the chiefs of the Levites, who serve continually, will number 12 in all, 1 to a tribe. The chiefs of their courses shall serve each man in his office. The chiefs of the tribes and the fathers of the congregation shall support them, taking their posts continually at the gates of the sanctuary. So there must be a temple or a tent of appointment or something at this time. The chiefs of their courses, from the age of 50 upward, shall take their posts with their commissioners on their festivals, which are new moons and Sabbaths, and on every day of the year. These shall take their posts at the burnt offerings and sacrifices, to arrange the sweet-smelling incense according to the will of Yahuwah, in order to atone for all his congregation, and to satisfy themselves before him continually at the table of glory. All of these they shall arrange at the time of the year of remission. The year of remission is Jubilees. During the remaining 33 years of the war, the men of renown, those called of the congregation, and all the heads of the congregation's family, shall choose for themselves men of war for all the lands of the nations. They shall prepare capable men for themselves from all tribes of Yisrael to go out for battle according to the call to war, year by year. But during the year of Jubilees, they shall not ready men to go out for battle, for it is a Sabbath of rest for Yisrael. The war will be waged during the 35 years of service. For 6 years the entire congregation will wage it together. Then the war shall be waged with divisions during the 29 remaining years. In the first year they will fight against Mesopotamia. In the second, the war will be fought against the sons of Lud. In the third, they shall fight against the rest of the sons of Aram, which are Uz, Hul, Tagar, and Mishah, who are beyond the Euphrates. In the 4th and 5th years, they will battle against the sons of Arpachshad. In the 6th and 7th year they shall fight against all the sons of Assyria and Persia, and those of the east up to the great desert. In the 8th year they will fight against the sons of Elam. In the 9th year they will fight against the sons of Ishmael and Keturah. Okay, that's kind of interesting stuff there, especially the battle against Assyria and Persia. Persia, Iran. All right. And during the following 10 years, the war shall be divided against all the sons of Ham, according to their tribes and their territories. During the remaining 10 years, the war shall be divided against all the sons of Japheth, according to their territories. This is the rule of the trumpets. These are the trumpets of alarm, shofars, for all their service for the armies of Yahuwah and their commissioned men. The men will be set in divisions by tens of thousands and hundreds and fifties and tens. Upon the trumpets they will rely, and upon the sound of the trumpets which they shall create for the different sounds of the trumpets of the battle formations, and the trumpets for assembling them when the gates of the war are opened, so that the infantry will advance, and the trumpets for the signal of the slain, and the trumpets of the ambush, and the trumpets of pursuit when the enemy is vanquished, and the trumpets of reassembly when the battle returns. On the trumpets for the assembly of the congregation they shall write, "The called of Yahuwah." On the trumpets for the assembly of the chiefs they shall write, "The princes of Yahuwah." On the trumpets of the formations they shall write, "The rule of Yahuwah." On the trumpets of the men of renown they shall write, "The heads of the congregation's clans." Then when they are assembled at the house of meeting, the tent of appointment, or the temple, or whatever it is that they've got at this time, they shall write, "The testimonies of Yahuwah for a holy congregation." On the trumpets of the camps they shall write, "The peace of Yahuwah in the camps of his saints." On the trumpets for their campaigns they shall write, "The mighty deeds of Yahuwah to scatter the enemy, and to put all those who hate justice to flight, and a withdrawal of mercy from all who hate Yahuwah." On the trumpets of the battle formations they shall write, "Formations of the divisions of Yahuwah, to avenge his anger on all the sons of darkness." On the trumpets for assembling the infantry when the gates of war open, that they might go out against the battle line of the enemy, they shall write, "A remembrance of requital at the appointed time of Yahuwah." On the trumpets of the slain they shall write, "The hand of the mighty Elohim in battle, so as to bring down all the slain because of unfairness." It says God here, but I'm not going with that. It's Elohim, okay? Yeah. Anyway. On the trumpets of ambush they shall write, "The mysteries of Yahuwah, to wipe out wickedness." On the trumpets of pursuit they shall write, "Yahuwah has struck all the sons of darkness. He shall not diminish his anger until they are annihilated." When they return from battle to enter the formation, they shall write on the trumpets of retreat, "Yahuwah has gathered." On the trumpets for the way of return from battle with the enemy to enter the congregation in Jerusalem, they shall write, "The joy of Yahuwah in a peaceful return." The description of the banners. This is the rule of the banners of the entire congregation according to their formations. On the grand banner, which is at the head of all the people, they shall write, people of Yahuwah. The names Yisrael and Aaron, and the names of the 12 tribes of Yisrael, according to their order of birth, on the banners of the heads of the camps of 3 tribes they shall write the Spirit of Yahuwah, and the names of the 3 tribes on the banner of each tribe they shall write Standard of Yahuwah, and the name of the leader of the tribe and of its families. On the banner of the divisions of the 10,000 write the name of the leader of the 10,000, and the names of the chiefs of the army and his hundreds. On the banner of Merari they shall write the offering of Yahuwah, and the name of the leader of Merari, and the names of the chiefs of his thousands. On the banner of the thousands they shall write, the anger of Yahuwah is loosened against Baal and all the men of his forces, so that none remain. And the name of the chief of the thousands, and the name of the chief of his hundreds. And on the banner of the hundreds they shall write, hundreds of Yahuwah, the power of war against a sinful flesh, and the name of the chief of the 100, and the name of the chiefs of his tens. And on the banner of the 50 they shall write, the might of Yahuwah have ended the stand of the wicked, and the name of the chief of the 50s, and the names of the chiefs of his tens. On the banner of the 1,000 they shall write, the anger of Yahuwah is loosed against Baal and all the men of his forces, so that none remain. When they go to battle, they shall write on their banner the truth of Yahuwah, the righteousness of Yahuwah, the glory of Yahuwah, the justice of Yahuwah, and after these the list of their names in full. When they draw near for battle, they shall write on their banners, the right hand of Yahuwah, the appointed time of Yahuwah, the tumult of Yahuwah, the slain of Yahuwah. After these things, write their names in full. When they return from battle, they shall write on their banners, the exaltation of Yahuwah, the greatness of Yahuwah, the praise of Yahuwah, the glory of Yahuwah, with their names in full. The rule of the banners of the congregation. When they set out to battle, they shall write on the first banner, the congregation of Yahuwah. On the second banner write, the camps of Yahuwah. On the third write, the tribes of Yahuwah. On the fourth write, the families of Yahuwah. On the fifth write, the divisions of Yahuwah. On the sixth write, the congregation of Yahuwah. On the seventh write, those called by Yahuwah. And on the eighth write, the army of Yahuwah. They shall write their names in full with all their order. When they come near for battle, they shall write on their banners, the battle of Yahuwah, the recompense of Yahuwah, the cause of Yahuwah, the reprisal of Yahuwah, the power of Yahuwah, the retribution of Yahuwah, the might of Yahuwah, the destruction of all the prideful nations by Yahuwah. And their names in full they shall write upon them. When they return from battle, they shall write on their banners, the deliverance of Yahuwah, the victory of Yahuwah, the help of Yahuwah, the support of Yahuwah, the joy of Yahuwah, the thanksgiving of Yahuwah, the praise of Yahuwah, the peace of Yahuwah. The length of the banners. The banner of the entire congregation shall be 14 cubits long. That's a pretty big banner. The banner of 3 tribes shall be 13 cubits long. The banner of a tribe, 12 cubits. The banner of 10,000, 11 cubits. The banner of 1,000 shall be 10 cubits. The banner of 100 shall be 9 cubits. The banner of a group of 50 shall be 8 cubits. The banner of a group of 10 shall be 7 cubits. And that ends our study for tonight. That's the last of it. And then the next one will be the description of their shields. Okay? So that'll be the next one in line. Well, gang, I hope that you're enjoying this. It's totally different from everything else that we've gone through so far in our extra canonicals. It's interesting because it's showing how Yahuwah is setting up the battle lines for the battle against good and evil, the sons of light against the sons of darkness. It's pretty interesting. You know, he is the commander of the host. He's the head guy for the armies of heaven, the host. Okay? So he's setting all this up, just like in Numbers. When we were reading Numbers, we saw how he set the congregation in order, just like a military. How he had all the tribes put around, the Levites were placed around the tent of appointment, and then the tribes coming out from the tent of appointment, who led, who trailed, and who was on the flanks. It's a military operation. If you have any questions about all of this, go back to Numbers and start reading in Numbers. I'm not sure where that exactly starts. I can't remember. I'd have to look in our Bibles and see. But it's in Numbers, and it explains precisely, well, pretty close to what this is explaining. So, do a little research there and check it out for yourself, and then compare the two. Here again, if you are not familiar with Torah, if you're not familiar with your Bible, if you've never read your entire Bible, please do yourself a favor. Go back to Genesis 1:1 in your Bible. And then after you complete the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, after you complete that, and then after you complete Yahshua, then start into your extra canonicals, because you're going to need to have a basic knowledge. Excuse me, get a drink. You're going to have a basic knowledge of Torah and Yah's laws before you're going to understand any of the extra canonicals. So please do yourself a favor. Make sure that you are very familiar with your Bible before you dive into the extra canonicals, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I don't want anybody getting confused. I don't want anybody going, wait a minute, this isn't right. Read the Bible first, and then it'll make sense to you. Okay? All right. That's all I've got tonight, gang. Our next study in this book, the War Scrolls, will be on Thursday. Okay? And, of course, we're going to have our midweek Bible study in Judges on Wednesday. Okay? All right, gang. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for listening to me read the War Scrolls for you. It's a different study. It's a little different, but it goes right alongside Numbers. Thank you for joining me again. Praise Yahuwah in all that he does. Bless Yahuwah. Everything in your life is because of Yahuwah. Do it right. Live according to Torah. Help your children to learn Torah. That's what everything is based on. Everything. Okay? All right, gang. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you again on Wednesday for our midweek Bible study. Okay? Y'all take care. Shalom.